Hello, welcome to Healthy Happy Families with a Natural Parent. I'm Annaliese Jones. I'm a naturopath and medical herbalist. And today I'm talking about something perhaps a little bit taboo. I'm talking about hemorrhoids. So hemorrhoids are really common here in the clinic with my pregnant mums or postpartum mums because of pregnancy obviously increasing our intra-abdominal pressure, which is one of the causes of hemorrhoids, unfortunately. So even if you don't have varicose veins or problems with your veins generally in pregnancy, unfortunately we can end up with some hemorrhoids, and sometimes even the pushing of childbirth can contribute a little bit to that too. So the important thing to think about is what can we do to strengthen those blood vessels. So the blood vessels in our anal area don't actually have a valve. They don't have like an aortic valve, so they're very, very susceptible to changes in pressure in that area. So one of the things we want to make sure is that we're definitely not constipated during pregnancy, and the best way to do that obviously is to make sure we have plenty of good fiber in our diet. So we're talking about whole grains, we're talking about root vegetables, nuts and seeds, lots and lots of water as well. So making sure that you're not skimping on that, you're not forgetting to have plenty of water. That's going to bulk out the stool and make it move along a bit more easily. We want to make sure we're not sitting for really long periods, and also that we're not standing for really long periods. So we want to balance. All of that's going to help with that pressure. To strengthen those blood vessels, what we want to be thinking about is a few key things. Bioflavonoids are the first thing, and that's something that you can try and increase in your diet. So we can get bioflavonoids from citrus foods. We can also get them from our blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries. All of those berries are really full of bioflavonoids, and what bioflavonoids do is they help to strengthen the matrix of tissue that helps with the strengthening basically of that membrane inside your vascular system. So we really want to try and help with that. The other thing that helps actually is collagen. So if you're somebody who would take collagen, you could do it that way. If you're somebody who wouldn't take collagen, you could just take vitamin C, and that's going to naturally help to provide the raw materials for collagen. Vitamin C in itself actually is good for vascular health, so that's one thing that I would recommend. Some of the other things that we use herbally, one of the things that I use a lot of is actually butcher's broom. Such a funny name, isn't it? So it's called Ruscus aculeatus if we're using the Latin. Butcher's broom is a really lovely herb. To be honest, with some of these herbs, we don't know how they work, but it's been used for the longest time for things like varicose veins and hemorrhoids, and I do find butcher's broom really great. I'll often use it in combination with horse chestnut. So obviously I know that you're thinking, well, where am I going to get these from? But the reason I'm telling you these things is that often you can find things like horse chestnut and even butcher's broom in a combination together, a herbal capsule or a tea, even something like that. It might even be for varicose veins, but you perhaps are going to be using it for hemorrhoids. That's fine too. You should be able to find something like that in your local health store. You should be able to find it online perhaps. All I would say is make sure it's really good quality. So that's the only thing with herbs. You do need to make sure you know what you're getting. So get it from a really reputable source or brand. But it is something that you can get yourself, I find it really, really helpful. The other thing that we want to think about is silica. So we can actually take silica. It's a really safe nutrient to take, and you can find silica in lots of different forms, combinations. Really, it's the silica that's the most important part when we're talking about hemorrhoids. So you'll be able to find that somewhere as well quite easily. I would think about doing things like oat straw tea, actually. That would be a really lovely thing to do as well. Even nettle is really helpful, and I know that in pregnancy it's very common for people to seek out nettle teas from their health stores and take those as well, and that will be helpful too. Most of all, just don't strain. So make sure you don't. Eat some prunes if you need to soften your stool, or you need to help with that peristalsis, that movement of your stool along. I know a lot of people, they struggle postpartum with hemorrhoids, and it's particularly just a double whammy if you've had tearing as well during your birth. So I always do recommend that people carry with them some prunes in their bag, or if they're going to hospital, to take to the hospital, or to have prunes postpartum straight away, because that really helps with softening those first few stools that are going to come through post-birth. So I hope that's really helpful. Don't just suffer, honestly. Go and see somebody. And, you know, if somebody in your family has had hemorrhoids in later life, then if it was me, I'd be thinking about prevention. So just checking in on your fiber intake, making sure that you are taking a couple of things just to prevent any weakening of those vascular walls. All right. Thanks for listening. Talk soon. Bye-bye.